So I have spent the last 3 years doing research with Hansalim. I'm a research fellow employed by the University of Sussex. So back in the 1970s and 80s, a group of student activists protesting against the dictatorship that ruled South Korea in those days came together with the organic farmers movement around a town called Wonju in South Korea, and they formed a cooperative movement that spread across that county. And in 1986 they became formed as a multi-stakeholder cooperative of consumers and producers and opened a store in Seoul. In 1989 they published a manifesto of an alternative worldview and their vision to, through building relationships between rural and urban people and communities, and direct sales from farmers to consumers, to create an alternative way of living together as humans and with nature. And since that time they have grown to become a nationwide movement, a social movement across the whole of South Korea. Their consumer members number in around 800,000 households. There are around 3,000 households involved in organic agricultural production and processing of foods. Something like 4,000 types of product can be bought in their stores and online. They really work on a philosophy based in traditional Korean ideas, as well as influenced by ecological and environmental movements from the West, and the cooperative movement from the UK and from the Nordic countries. There's especially some influence from the folk high schools movement, which was introduced into Korea in the 1920s and became a central part of many of the cooperatives that were set up among farmers in those days, and has since influenced the emphasis that Hansalim and other cooperatives like them have around education and personal formation. And so as a movement, they're really about much more than just food production. And so I really wanted to invite people that I have met who are interested in and working on food systems, and particularly focused on sustainability and solidarity, to visit Hansalim, to see for themselves firsthand what Hansalim is doing in its different activities, and also to get to know some of the people here who I've been working with directly at the Moshe Hansalim Research Institute, which is Hansalim's own small research center. And so I've organized a trip for a week or so to come and visit various Hansalim communities and offices across the country, to try and convey to people a picture of how the community and the food system that they built works, and in the hope that it may inspire people in Europe to think bigger about what they're doing in terms of trying to transform food systems.